Just your thoughts on tonight's match, then maybe we'll take a few questions.
Yeah, I would say obviously not our cleanest game. We definitely had to fight for that one, fighting ourselves most of the time because I feel like we're the ones who put ourselves in those situations, just making errors, not doing our job. So I feel like once we really identified that, like we knew we had to step up, and I think this team did a good job of fighting in the end.
Yeah, I would echo everything that she said. Matt made a good point, and I want to say our third set timeout, just like the fact that like we're literally like we're in these kind of tough fighting positions to need a fight, but it's literally because we put ourselves there. And I think we cleaned that up in the third set, but if we could do that from the start, I think some of the stats and the scores would look a little bit different.
Question.
What did you guys see from the block, especially the change from the first two sets to the third?
I mean, you're behind it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we talked about just being like disciplined up there because the more they reach, it's like harder for us to do our job. So I feel like once we really made that adjustment, it made our lives a lot easier. And yeah, just helped our defense overall.
Yeah. Yeah, they're quicker, lower swingers. So if our hands aren't pressed over fast enough, they're just kind of hitting edges. And it's really hard to defend balls like that.
You finished the game with 20 kills. How do you think your performance spread throughout the rest of the team?
Yeah, I think I was just trying to kind of do my job, I get a lot of the maybe kind of junk plays, and I think I've been working a lot on just making those zeros. And I think, the ones that were good, I was being aggressive, which is something that I've been working on a lot. And just, trying to, I think our middles also were getting a lot of good looks, and I think that's a really big part of our offense tonight, and just making sure that we keep our offense spread, and I think Chris is doing a really good job with that.
Amy, you just touched on it quickly, but could you speak on how Kristen Klein has helped you continue your offensive game?
Yeah, I mean, Chris is doing such a good job. So far this season, she is only continuing to get better, and she's gaining a lot more confidence, and I think she's really, really good when she's at her most confident. She's chucking balls left and right, and I think it just really makes our offense unpredictable, which makes us really, really good.
Piggybacking off of that, just your connection in terms of you were set a lot in this match. Do you know going in that it's going to be a Mimi day where it's, okay, I'm going to get a lot of the offensive opportunities, or does that just kind of happen within the flow of the match?
I think a big thing of our offense is we don't want it to be necessarily a Mimi game. We want to be able to spread our offense because when they don't know who's getting set, it makes everyone a lot more open, and Chris can make those decisions and spread the ball. I think sometimes if I have a good matchup, which I think I did tonight, Chris knows to maybe go to me a little bit more. They had a big 6-6 middle, so maybe running the A or the push whatever behind or for our middles just maybe wasn't the best option tonight, just because she's big and she's right in the middle of the court. So maybe if I have a better matchup, but again, I don't think we necessarily want it to be the Mimi show.
Mackenzie, so in addition to volleyball, you're also in the Manning Masters program. Was it like balancing academics and athletics?
Yeah, one thing that really drew me to Oregon was the availability of the one-year Masters for accounting program. It's been tough, not gonna lie, especially with Big Ten play heating up and traveling so much. But the program is so great. I've met so many amazing people through it already. So yeah, it's just fun getting both worlds.
First part, girl.
Mackenzie, you came to this game knowing that Maryland had one of the best serving teams in the country, especially with Schnitt on their side. So how did you yourself prepare to defend against the serve, and how did you prepare your back line as well? Yeah,
I would say in this week we know we had some tough topspins coming at us. That was something. I don't even know what that was, but I feel like our practice players do a great job of prepping us that whole week, making sure we're used to seeing it because it's not something we see every week. Just making sure we're cushioning our platform, making sure we're getting best control of the ball that we can. So yeah.
Matt said that serve receive in the first few sets was something that could have been cleaned up. How do you feel like your team developed throughout the game in terms of handling that serve receive as the match went forward, especially in set 3?
I feel like it's all a matter of adjustments. They were really dropping and driving us, so just being able to identify those, and I think a good job we do is starting up. So we trust ourselves passing deep, so just not getting burned on those short balls. I feel like we're doing a really good job in set 3 of identifying that.
A couple more.
Maybe what are some goals that you hold for yourself for the rest of the season?
I don't know. I think to just stay aggressive. That's been a big thing Matt and I have talked about. Just going and staying aggressive, looking for tips and rolls when I can. But I don't know, just being aggressive and loose and just making sure that my serve receive is solid. That's a big development in my game, is just trying to be solid in serve receive as much as I can for my team. And yeah, just doing everything I can to help my team, just being a better all-around volleyball player.
Do you guys feel, do you feel any different in the third set when you guys jumped to a really big lead than in the first two when Maryland was really up against you?
I just think it was cleaner volleyball overall. I don't necessarily think, I think the scores reflected the fact that it wasn't very clean volleyball from the start. And then again, the third, we started off cleaner, so we started off better and with that lead.
Robert, what have you guys seen from Noemi that's allowed her to improve so much over the last couple of weeks?
She, I think, is her best when she's being super aggressive and she's not timid and she's not shying away from the ball. She's a really high-level attacker, and when she's aggressive and Chris is able to get that ball to her and she goes and swing confidently, she's up there so high, she's over every single block there is. And I think she just needs to stay in that mindset, and she has been the last couple of days, especially in practice. She was absolutely blowing it up in practice the other day, and just reminding her to stay aggressive and just be who she is as a player, and she is, but get really, really good.
Anything else with players?
Mimi, what's it like being a leader on this team?
Yeah, I think, I'm a junior now, so I've been here for a couple of years, and I think we got a lot of new people and a lot of new faces, not only with our grad transfers, but also just our freshmen and our redshirt freshmen. There's a lot of new people, and I think just trying to help them the best I can. I had really good leaders when I was a freshman with the Burton-Villers and the Hannahs and the Carsons, and I can go down the list, but just trying to be that for them, like as what I got. I'm just trying to be a leader for them.
You're in a very similar spot to Brooke in her career, where she was on a team and made a deep tournament run and was one of the only holdovers from that team throughout her upperclassmanship. You're kind of in a similar spot on this team. Have you talked with Brooke about that at all in terms of how she handled being a leader? And then how do you see her game sort of morphing into being similar to the ways that Brooke's developed throughout her career?
Mm-hmm. I think Brooke and I are very different styles of player, but I think just watching her, she made such a huge impact on me my freshman year, and she took me under her wing, and then, whenever we see her, it's like this big reunion, and she's still one of my favorite people. And I think just trying to mirror the leadership that she brought in the fight, and just the effort and the desire, and like everything that she was as a volleyball player just in my game, and continuing to develop that has been a big thing for me. So yeah, just again, trying to be for my team now what she was for me, it's a huge thing.